You know what, guys? It's Mattview Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to Mattview Reviews, where today we'll be having a look at Sing, which is the latest animated picture from Illumination Entertainment. Illumination is best known for the Despicable Me films and the Minions. Regardless of what you think of those little yellow guys, I personally believe that Illumination as a whole is capable of making high quality films, but is prone to misfiring at times. So, without further ado, let's break this film down into our 5 main categories of animation success, starting with the characters. So, on the upside, Sing has a very large cast of characters that are all entertaining in their own right. They are introduced very quickly at the beginning of the film, similar to the introduction of the characters in Suicide Squad, where a quick glimpse of their life and personality is shown. I very much like this approach to showing off a large cast of characters. It may look sloppy and rushed, but I prefer to think it gets to the point and allows the film to continue on a natural story progression without taking out a large amount of time to set up every character in a long, drawn-out fashion. Now, back to the characters. Like I said, there are some very good characters in this film. Each one of the contestants, whether it be Johnny the Gorilla or Rosita the Pig, you truly want to see them accomplish their goals. You feel extremely sympathetic to each one and really want to see them succeed for their individual reasons. Miss Crawley the Chameleon is certainly the main source of comedy in this film as the old clumsy secretary. She's extremely funny and a lovable character. The main character of the film, Buster Moon the Koala Bear, is the owner of the dying theater, the Moon Theater, and puts the contest together in order to raise funds. Buster is a very clever con man that is constantly finding ways to solve any given problem put in front of him, no matter how unconventional or legal the solution may be. He thankfully is not upplayed as a major jerk, but he's not a sympathetic sad sap either. The balance in his character is really solid and makes you feel bad about him doubting if he'll ever be the success his dad thought he'd be, while other times seeing the insane lengths he'll go to squirm his way out of losing all the power in his building only to steal it back from a neighboring neon sign. So as a whole, the characters in Sing are very good and pretty much are all upsides. In terms of the voice acting, there's a lot of talent behind this project. Every actor does a very good job, whether it is Seth MacFarlane as Mike the Mouse, Scarlett Johansson as Ash the Porcupine, or Nick Kroll as the over-the-top Gunther the Pig. Everyone does a great job. There are some performances that I would like to highlight, however. Matthew McConaughey does a phenomenal job as Buster Moon. For the first time that I can remember, McConaughey actually dropped his iconic southern accent. I absolutely applaud McConaughey for doing so, but also Illumination's staff. Illumination often has their celebrity cast create voices for the characters, which was seen previously when Steve Carell played Gru in Despicable Me. I really like this approach of studios making characters rather than having celebrities voice their characters. Garth Jennings, the director of Sing, actually plays Miss Crawley, which was mind-blowing when I found that out. It was amazing not just because it was a guy doing a really good old lady voice, but because he is mainly a director with very little acting credits. Jennings created an incredibly funny performance, and it should certainly be highlighted. Also, Taron Egerton as Johnny does a fantastic job expressing the feelings that his character is going through, and they are very difficult to convey properly as his character has a lot of emotional scenes. However, Taron pulls this off masterfully and should be applauded in doing so. Also, Tara Strong actually has a minor role in this film. I won't give away what because it might be minor spoilery, but she's awesome and I'm happy to see her in a big film, so go Tara. I know she's probably been in other ones, but I love her, so good to see her. Now, meanwhile, the only negative I can think of in terms of the voice acting would be the performance done by Tori Kelly as Mina the Elephant. Tori doesn't do a bad job, especially in her first acting role. She is mainly a singer. However, Tori does seem to deliver her lines in the same tone of voice throughout the film, and the lack of range in her voice makes her lines feel less genuine. I understand she is playing a shy character that doesn't speak up, but when she is put in situations where her voice needs to adapt to the situation appropriately, she just doesn't do it as effectively as she should. She kind of keeps the same monotone, shy voice throughout. Once again, this is not a major downside, but it just drops the character's impact on the audience in my mind. She does, however, make up for it with her incredible singing voice, which I will get to later. But next, we're going to talk about the story with minor spoilers ahead in terms of the plot and moral of the film, or at least my interpretation of the moral. So if that is something you'd like to discover for yourself, just skip ahead to the next segment using this link. Okay, so what I like about the story is that each character is met with a situation in their life that just they need an escape from, and they see this competition as that escape. Now, the movie may not be overly complex or unique, which I'll get into, but I greatly enjoy the setup and the moral at the end. Now, this could just be me creating the moral, but in my opinion, I think the message of the film is this. Don't worry so much about impressing others. It is more important that you impress yourself with what you are capable of. This is a really great message, and I hope that most kids and audience members get this message, as it is really important to learn. Also, it has some really nice comedy laced in, and the finale of the film is fantastic, which I will cover more in detail in terms of singing as it's Sing, so obviously the finale will be musically related. Now, as for the negative, the story is extremely formulaic and basic, as the film uses the tired liar revealed storyline. You can pretty much guess where that goes if you've seen any media whatsoever. Hey, I gotta lie. Oh my god, you lied? I hate you right now. Like, you go a day later. Look, I know I lied, but I had a good reason. Forgive me? Okay, I get it. It's nothing new, and it's been overused, and I think audiences are sick of this type of story. Also, not to get too specific, this is a minor spoiler. So, as you can probably guess if you have seen films long enough, or any television series, especially in media for families or small children, any competition storyline with multiple main characters, not just multiple characters, multiple main characters, will have the winner / ending be a bit of a cop-out. I'm not going to get into how, but I'm assuming that you could figure it out for yourselves. Just to wrap up the negatives of the story though, this might just be me, but I felt as though the film spent a lot of time on Seth MacFarlane's character Mike. Now, that wouldn't be an issue, but he's kind of an antagonist of sorts in the film. He's a big jerk and is supposed to be disliked. You don't even find out that he's being a jerk for justifiable reasons. He's just no good throughout 95% of the film. He may be a funny jerk, but I don't think a large focus should be on the character that should be disliked, when it could be spent on more likable main characters like Ash or Mina, the likable characters that need more development. Next, we're going to cover animation. Illumination does a solid job with some really good character designs and fluid animation. I would say their cat and rhino designs could use some work, but overall it's solid animation with nothing overly special. Sing looks very much in the same style as their other films, Despicable Me, Secret Life of Pets, with not much attention to detail, more on the exaggerated features. That's kind of Illumination's style. It's not a knock on them, it's more their style is prone to be not overly impressive, at least in my eyes, compared to a Disney or a Pixar. However, in terms of world building, this film is severely lacking, especially compared to Zootopia. Now, I know it may seem unfair to judge these two films, but if two anthropomorphic animals living in a society films come out in the same year, how could you not? Disney's Zootopia took the time to answer questions about animals living in a society. Questions like, how would animals that live in different habitats coexist in one habitat? Well, they wouldn't. They would have their own section that would suit their best needs. Also, how would a rabbit wear ear pods? She'd put them in her actual ears. And Sing, animals of different kingdoms and species all coexist in one natural, everyday habitat, city habitat. There's no specific structure or machine that aids them in their everyday tasks that would suit their needs, aside from one shot of fish having like a river of stairs to climb up. That's another thing too. There's a group of shrimp that auditioned at the beginning of the film, but they do so in a fishbowl on a cart. How the hell did they get on stage, let alone to the theater, by themselves? Also, Mina wears giant headphones on her head, but they don't actually go over her elephant ears, or in them rather. It looks more like how a human would wear them, but it makes no logical sense. Personally, it feels you could have substituted the animals for people in this film, and it would not have changed much. I think it's just that singing animals would sell much better than a movie about singing people. This may seem like a nitpick, but it can be distracting and hinders me from getting immersed and invested in this world. Finally, we get to the music, which is where Sing really shines, and that is really what the main focus on the film should be. I went into this being worried that it would be packed in with modern pop songs, but I was delighted to hear a nice variety, which I kind of think is good for kids. It's good for kids to learn that there's different styles of music besides Katy Perry and Taylor Swift. Although both of them kind of have songs in this film, so... well, there goes that point. No, but in all seriousness, there is a nice mix. Each actor/singer does a phenomenal job, especially Tori Kelly, ScarJo, Taron Egerton, and Seth MacFarlane, who was a breath of fresh air with his incredible Sinatra-era voice, which is one of my favorite eras of music. Now, the best aspect of the film is the finale, where each contestant sings their final song, and the entire finale, top to bottom, is fantastic. Everyone sings so well in their character's own style of music, and each song so accurately reflects the particular character's journey and personality. However, as someone who loves rock and roll and classic music, my bae ScarJo and Seth MacFarlane's last songs were my favorite. Altogether, each song very appropriately represents the characters singing them, and it all fits really well into a great finale. So, in conclusion, all in all, Sing does a lot of things right, especially in the music department. However, as a whole, it is an incredibly basic film. There is not a lot of uniqueness or originality in this film, but in its simplicity, it makes for a very entertaining film. If you saw the trailer and got excited for it, chances are you had a very good time watching this film. For the average moviegoer, you'll like this film just fine. I'm going to give Sing a 4 out of 5, although a low 4. So definitely go out and see it if you can, because you will enjoy yourself, especially if you like music. So, check back next time when I will be reviewing the Lego Batman movie. Until next time, guys, check out the rest of the content on the Discord server, and I will see you guys next time. Blah!